It's a little bit of a first touch rule on the ES, but those of you that only have permission to trade the open should be doing this. Everybody else, be patient. I think I heard Coach Paul say it. We are patient traders, waiting for very specific setups. Some of you guys that are on trial have been with us for a couple of days. You know that. Those of you that are new on trial, we tend to be very patient. Our most important thing that we look at is preserving capital. Now, do we get good trades and our traders make decent money most days? Yeah, but patiently wait for good setups, which Boss Hog and Coach Paul will point out to you here momentarily. Fair enough, guys?
That
Fair enough.
sounds good.
Fair enough. First touch would have worked, but it was right at the open. So
It worked.
yeah, right at the open, though. I didn't like that.
And I had a I had a trend line drawn right there at it, and it went right past it. Those that went
Coach.
long, are you still in it?
Yeah. There's your 86. Win the day. Well,
Good
almost
job.
trade.
Everybody that's long, just hold on to it. Could have you
Yeah.
stops up to 85. I mean, not 81, excuse me. Move your stop up to 84. If you're in this one. It breaks this previous high. It should go on up to, should have clear sailing to about 93. You are now free to trade around the
There's
world.
your 6 minutes. All right. but we're still being patient at this point. If you're not in this,
Just start
Yeah.
pressing buttons. Just start pressing buttons.
yeah, it's 6 minutes. Everybody press your buttons.
What is that they call
Please
whack a
don't do
mole?
that.
Just start whack a mole.
Our trials, don't listen to Brian. Please. Be patient.
It breaks a high of 88 and a quarter. You can move your stop up. Go ahead and move it up now to 85 and about 85 and a half.
There it goes.
Getting a runner right off the bat. Win today is just sitting back collecting it. I can hear the change in his pocket from here.
Going ching-a-ling-a-ling.
That's it. See, there you go. And I heard it.
Ah. Coach says, beware the 1030 reversal.
Oh. Yeah, there's no reason to be out of it.
Might get a chance to get in here.
Yeah. Our first touch rule. But then,
Maybe a
Yeah.
W here.
yeah. So it's
Maybe
gonna
wait for a little more confirmation before taking that first
Yes,
touch.
sir. Yes, sir.
Because this might want to pull back a little bit more here.
Put your buy stop at 86, about 86.50 for the W. If it Now it's going to break out to the downside.
Be getting a long signal now, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe. There you get your pullback. Be patient. I would probably want to do it with a W, like Boss Hog said earlier. Ticks did start relatively high, so could see a little bit of a pullback. So the buy stop Boss Hog gave you earlier on the ES just lowered a little bit. A little bit of a 16 tick rule on the YM, but again, just be patient. Probably want to confirm that with the YM. If the buy signal happens on the ES, then you want to jump in on the YM. If not, stay on the sidelines. And here's what we preach, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you, especially on trial, you members know this. Especially on a slow day like today, do what Win the Day did. Get your 1 or 2 trades. As a matter of fact, do what
Either
all the
one.
coaches did. 1 or 2 trades and be done. Go ahead, Boss Hog.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, win the day, then one. It took me 2.
Stretch did too, if I'm not mistaken.
Still think I'd try to make sure it breaks this little W here to be on the long side, guys, but you could take a stab at it on the 9 tick rule if you did it. 16 tick rule on the YM. Give you guys a little guideline there. You should have your targets off on the YM. Those of you that did the YM with oversold stochastics. And looks like you get the same opportunity with the ES now. There you go, guys. Nice, Greg. Good job, everybody. I'm sure I've got a few people along on the YM, right, guys? A few people along on the YM. It's all W on the YM.
T-light should be.
Way to put oversold stochastics for its green jeans. Great job. Lock in some ticks. Make sure you're no lose on the trade. Yeah, starts to follow up on the upside, then you probably have some room to run. If not, it's trying to act like that upper zone is resistance. I think we put that on notes today too. So point is, when you get in the trade, lock in the number of ticks you want locked in. Put your stop in a no lose. If it continues to run, great. If it doesn't, at least you paid yourself a little bit to be in the trade. You have your targets off on the ES now too. Stop in a no lose.
We got a little area here on the ES that we had problems with earlier. If it breaks through, it should go on up. Yeah, if it hits 84 and above, it should go on up.
Could be getting a little bit of first touch rule on the YM. I would confirm that with the 16 tick rule guys at this point. Not quite oversold in stochastics. Does look like it wants to push down a little bit more, but if you're going to take your trade, 16 tick or 9 tick rule. It's not a 32 tick or 18 tick rule, guys. You guys know that. Targets off. It's pretty simple, right, guys?
Is that
You guys
easy?
catch a piece of that re-entry? It was a nice little re-entry, both YM, ES. Plenty of time to get targets off, plenty of time to get in the trade. Not saying it's going to be a winner. We're not trying to scalp, but guys, we're going into the highs here, going into resistance.
Hey, Brian,
So it wasn't a hard trade. Go ahead.
could you point out that, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Could you point out that reentry? I have a trial that was asking about it. I figured maybe all the other trials would like to see it.
That W
So
re-entry?
So that's what we're looking for. If you guys are looking at ES, we'll do it on the ES. YM was a little bit harder
Yeah,
for re-entry,
this
but
was specifically, yes.
yeah,
but-
okay. Yeah, so basically, guys, those of you on trial, what we're really looking for is swings to be in the market. We use stochastics a lot to help us with that. We use our zones to help us with that. Long story short, we have what we call a 9 tick rule in the ES, meaning the market's going to pull back a little bit, try to take some stops out, and then we'll see a little swing point develop. Once we see that develop, we're looking at a range chart, and we're literally looking to see that people typically are getting stopped out on the ES around 9 ticks on any position they're in. So if they were short there, probably getting stopped out. When the market turns back 9 ticks, we use that information to get into a long trade. We take targets off anywhere between 6 and 10 ticks on the long side, 6 to 12 ticks on the long side with the ES. So we trade multiple contracts. So our entry would be somewhere around 9 ticks from the low of this swing. Stop would start just one tick below it. Then once we get a couple targets off in a situation like this, those of you on trial, that stop will go right into a no lose. Typically, the ES is going to try to take out stops. So that's why we take targets off so that we're guaranteed profits on the trade. Then you just pull your stop up to the swing once it swings down and tries to take those stops. Pull your stop of the remaining balance of what you have left in contracts up. Now you're guaranteed to make money in the trade no matter what. YM gave you a second chance here on the first touch rule. So you guys should have your targets off on that one. It's pretty easy there on the YM. Even though you're not getting oversold stochastics, it's still respecting that first touch rule. So again, same thing with 16 tick rule, guys. You guys can get your targets off on that. Do that again. And then once the back to the ES here, once the trade starts to run for us, then we slowly move our stop up with said trade. Looking back, trying to stay below these little areas that were congestion areas before. So you're probably pretty good. What is that? Somewhere around the 89 there is probably a good stop on the ES now. So now you're guaranteed profits in the trade. So again, we do trade multiple contracts. We suggest 3 contracts on the ES, at least 2 contracts on the YM. And again, you definitely should have targets off now on the YM. As Boss Hog had said earlier, if the YM pushes through this zone, ES is going to continue to run as well. So stops up a little bit on the YM, probably to 79. And you guys are staying on the long side. Did that help answer the question, Paul?
That was perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Appreciate
All
that.
right. You could probably go up a little bit more. Couple ticks more on the ES. Maybe even 84. And everybody knows our job is just to follow the market. Let the market tell us what to do. So just make sure that you have profits locked in. Same as before, guys. Lock in the number of ticks you want locked in. You get stopped out. Oh, well, there'll be another trade coming in the future. And back to your regular scheduled programming.
Keep your seat in an upright and locked position. Could have a possible W forming on the ES. like Coach Brian was talking earlier, it's wanting to play between these zones. It's having a hard time breaking the zones.
Just got to be patient. This is
A little bit of W on the ES here,
Yes, that's right.
but it's a little choppy, guys, going into the highs. If you haven't gotten any of the earlier trades, if you think this should be the first moment you should start trading, I'll go with Boss Hog here and say,
No.
probably not.
or Coach Paul,
Just chill out for
Yeah.
a little bit.
if this is going to be your first trade of the day, shame on you. There were plenty of opportunities earlier. No, you might be able to catch a couple ticks
You-
on the long side from
you can
here.
take it
Same
there
with
if
the
you want.
YM.
Yeah.
If you take the trade, get your targets off now.
Like right now.
The
Might be getting a little buy signal on the YM here in just a second as well.
if the ES breaks the previous high, would be a good chance if it breaks it. An opportunity.
You guys probably want to think about squeezing your stops and being flat if you did long on the ES and never got the long signal on the YM. So if you did the long on the ES, squeeze your stops, guarantee profits. Now you're getting down to a prior swing on the YM. You might be able to take a chance on it now. Still would like to see a W on the YM, but again, if you do a 16 tick rule, get those targets off quick.
Jordan,
No.
I was gonna say, do it now if you're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Targets off if you're doing the YM now.
I'll just be patient.
Or just be patient, guys.
We'll get a trade. It'll come out. 10:30 coming up.
All right, guys. This is the YM, just liking a couple more ticks. I got a few people long on the YM. So looks like 60 is probably pretty good. Anybody still long on the ES? Anybody? Pull back, take you out. You always play the breakout on the high side. That's a little bit more risky. All right,
Yeah,
Renzo, green jeans. Good job, guys. Came back down to a little first touch rule. A little 9-tick confirmation there. Didn't quite get oversold in stochastics, but you had one earlier. You had another one earlier. You had another one earlier. Some good chances on the ES after the open. And obviously, you guys had some good chances on the long side pre-open. And let's look at it this way, guys. On the YM, if you break below those earlier morning lows, might want to chill out on the long side for a couple minutes. For the ES, if it breaks below that zone, you're going to definitely chill out on the long side for a minute.
So right now it's not doing anything, chopping around. You can look at your range chart and see that.
Just let it pull back a little bit, guys. Wait for the swings. Again, like I said earlier, below those morning lows, those that have counter trend privileges could have taken a shot at that. Now you're starting to get a little bit of a swing. At least you got out of the chop a little bit on the ES. Got a little hook up in stochastics. Again, 9-tick rule, not a 16-tick rule. So if you're doing the 9-tick rule long, you should be in somewhere around 84 to 85. Actually, even lower than that, probably. Somewhere around 84.50. But again, I think most people should just be chilling out on the ES. Didn't quite get the long signal there on the YM. Let it go down a little bit more. Let the YM push down. The ES probably gonna fall a little bit. And counter trend people, make sure that you're getting your targets off on the short side, locking in profits, especially on the YM there. You guys had a couple chances on the short side on the YM. We'll breakout trade. We don't want everybody doing it, only the more experienced people doing it. So step by step. Those that went to class, you know how to trade that. Those that are more experienced traders, you know how to trade that. Getting down to a zone on the ES, so you might see a little bit of a buy signal come out of this area. Same as before, guys. If you want to do the 9-tick rule, make sure that you do it quickly and take your targets off. I think we probably need to see it pushed down just a little bit further. But again, if you want to take a chance at the 9 rule, it's a 9-tick rule, not a 16-tick rule, 18-tick rule, 16-tick rule on the YM. Now you're down to a prior swing on the YM. You might see a little W. Again, I'd like to see a W, guys. Seems like you guys know in choppy markets, it's a lot easier for the W entries. So you want to see a little W form. Take that entry, get your targets off of that pretty quick. Same on the YM. You'd like to see a little W form. Right? You should be thinking about targets off. So yeah, being a little patient helps, guys. Just being a little patient. This little long signal on the YM now. You should have your targets off. Yes, definitely should have your targets off. You guys getting a piece of that? We just talked through it. Wait the swing down. Get the swing. Oversold stochastics. Nice clean hook and stochastics. You guys getting a piece of it? Move your stops up now and lock in whatever profits you want. You're back at the top of the zone. Good job, Sway. 2 or 3 good trades this morning, guys. Choppy environment. Wait for these swings. Give yourself a little point of confluence, like prior swing, something like that. Maybe a little W action, oversold stochastics. Then you can take your targets off, move your stop to a no lose, guarantee some profits on the trade. Like Boss Odd said earlier, if it does want to bust through the top side, then good. You'll have a nice little runner on your hands. If it doesn't, you've locked in some profits.
Good job in today. It's good morning.
Nice job win the day.
I'm about to call him consistently winning the day.
Mm-hmm. Lulu, morning. We're on the long side, guys. Hopefully a few of you guys did it. Yes, stops up a couple more ticks to say 86. Let's call it. Now you can probably get up to the top of this range a little bit. So 86.50. Decent stop on the ES. Nice, Damien. Coach Hugo. Good deal. Getting on the flag entry. Targets off. Little flag entry here on the YM, I believe, is what Coach Hugo did. Yep. People done for the day now. Stops up on the ES. At least 87, maybe even 88.25. YM stops up somewhere around 35 should do it on the YM. Stand alongside. Could you go? Was the greatest adventure of all time. The money printer.
The money printer.
Stand along, ladies and gentlemen. Here it goes. YM stops up a little bit. 43 on the YM. Yes. Now you could toy around a little bit with maybe even 89.75. That should have plenty of ticks locked in for everybody. You guys are all grabbing a piece of this, right? Being patient.
Yeah.
See what patience gives you guys?
And that is why I waited.
Hey, and you got a piece of it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
See, guys? Dealer's
Patience,
choice
man.
here, going into a little resistance. If you want to squeeze your stop, you can, or just leave it in if you got plenty of ticks locked in. Same on the YM and the ES. And maybe this would be a push into a 1030 reversal. We shall see. Well, we got 5 or 6 in on the YM, 2 or 3 in on the ES. So good job, ladies and gentlemen, that I know of. There's got to be more than that probably. On the YM, you can now go up a couple more ticks. Looks like 57 would be a safe stop. Maybe a tick or 2 more now on the ES to 25. Both of them. Good job, Green Jeans. Anybody else catching it? ES, YM that I don't know about? I know we got like 10 people, I think. 8 to 10 people long, whether it's YM or ES. Anybody else in it? Nobody else? Anybody? Everybody? 100 people, 120 people in here. Nobody? 6 people typing in chat. Starter, good job. Good job. Just hold on to it for a little bit, guys. Your stops in, just hold on to it for a little bit. You can see a little chop in this area. And again, as Boss Hog said earlier, if it pushes through this area, hold on to the long trade. With the YM and the ES, swung down just like what we always preach. This is what we practice, right, guys? This is a trade that we look for, right? ES, got a little chop here. Swings down out of it. We always say, take the next trade out of the chop. Right, guys? Almost everything we look for in a trade. Don't play around in the chop. Let it swing out of it. Come to a prior swing. Get a nice little wonky W. You had a 9-tick rule. And you're off to the races. Same on the YM, guys. Little chop up here. Had a couple chances on long trades. Let it pull back. Prior swing. Prior swing. Get it? Prior swing. Pulls back to a prior swing. Well, already had it pre-planned out for you. Put your buy stop in. Nice little long trade. It's what we preach every day. Wait for these swings. If you're patient enough to wait for these swings, you're telling me this trade right here isn't enough for you to be done for the day, guys?
One and done.
Patrick, you can hit the magnifying glass on the top right-hand corner of the chart area in the room, or you can double click on the chart you want to see and it'll pop it out. Patrick, the magnifying glass in the top right-hand corner, and then you can just click on the chart that you want to see, or you can double click on the chart you want to see and it'll pop it out. You can move it to another screen. So good job following along, Patrick. Good job with that. We ask that if you are newer with us, please do those trades in Sim so you can get an idea of what we're doing, what we're looking for. At least watch those videos. I can't control what you do with your account, but at least watch the videos and try to get an idea of what we're doing. Stops up a little bit on the YM. Now you can be at 67 on the YM and ES. You can bring those stops up a little bit. Stay in on the long side. There's your monster, guys. Should be pretty close to runner status for some of you on the long side, especially on the ES. Some of you close to runner on the ES here, guys. So maybe right under that swing point. Good job, Westy. So maybe even 92.50 is probably good now. It's moved up a little bit more. You could even lock in maybe a couple more ticks. Call it 93 on the ES. 93 should lock in a runner for most people. So 93 would be a good number to have a stop. YM, you guys want to go up a little bit further. You're hitting the top of that prior swing. So you might want to have, I like the mid Bollinger right now on the YM. Keeps you a little bit further away. So 74. Another prior swing on the ES here, guys. So if it pushes through that, then still got a little bit more room to run. Here's what I would say. Lock in and put your stop in. Nice. Look at you guys. Dave, Westy, Green Jeans, Sarter. Guys are doing it right. Patrick, good job. So lock in the number of points you want locked in on the ES. Same for the YM. Both of them are coming into prior swings. If you go flat, be happy that you locked in 10 points. Nice, Stewart. 81 ticks on the. That's a fantastic morning. Good job. Way to go, Stewart. Have a great day. That's what we preach, guys. Get your good green 1 or 2 trades in. 8 days green. I love it. That is fantastic, sir. Man. Well, all you guys, your job is to say, great job, Stewart. We do things as a club. Pat that man on the back. This is what we love about this. This club. Let me finish that off. All right, buddy. Have a good night. Y'all have fun in the member session tonight. Those of you on trial, you are invited to go to our evening members trade review session. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a good place for you to go and get a look at some of the trades that some of the members took today. Following our rules, knowing what to do with those rules. Again, guys, just make sure you have the number of points or ticks you want locked in. Put your stop there. Relax. If it takes you out, guess what? Good trade. People already have runners locked in. So a runner for us, by the way, those of you on trial, a runner for us, 10 points on the ES, 100 points on the YM. It's been a little bit more stingy with runners lately, hasn't it, than the ES? Seems that way, doesn't it?
It does kind of seem that way, doesn't it?
A little bit more stingy on its runners than the ES has lately.
It's usually the other way around, isn't it?
Usually it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, staying long, you got a second chance to get back in on the ES if you wanted to. But
You're at the top.
you guys know how I feel about buying into the
So,
highs
yeah,
there.
you're buying into the highs up here.
You're chasing
Wait
at that
till
point.
10:30, see if we get a reversal. If you're
Good.
not already
Don't
in
get
this.
yourself. Don't get into a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. That's the novice of novice moves, right? Maybe a tick or two more on the ES now. So 94 should work okay. YM tried to make a little M on you and didn't do it. So now you could probably go up a couple more ticks. Probably easily be at 79 on the YM. Might be a little tight, but again, it's battling that prior swing high. So resistance, if you look at the 60-minute chart on the ES, should be a little bit of resistance in this area somewhere. So again, that might be a little tight on the YM if you guys want to look at that from a swing standpoint. Still battling those highs on the YM and that resistance area on the ES. So just be patient, have your stops in. Just being patient. All right, guys, if that's not a trade, that's enough to get you done for the day. What else do you want us to do?
Right.
Hey, follow the stops.
I mean, it was a great example of what being patient does for you too. I said, right? Be patient. Wait for it.
You make too much money, Dave? Got out on the ES? Okay. Keep your stops in, guys. You can still stay long.
Dave's saving some money for the
Told you
rest of us.
guys to stay long, didn't I? Didn't I say stay long, ladies and gentlemen? Now, if you're done for the day, Dave, that's good. Be done for the day. If you're out on the ES and you're done for the day, you're good. Not. Now your stops go up a couple more ticks. See how that works, guys? Any questions on that? You can probably even come up to this little. So, I'm going to say 97 might be a little. 97 is probably a little tight there, but 96.75 is probably a good stop on the ES now. YM, like I said, I pulled it back a little bit because it was a little tight, so you guys should still be in long on the YM. Now you can come off a couple more ticks on the YM. So 87. And that's going to be the whole drop your mic trade.
Clink.
If you guys aren't done for the day after that one, tell me. Let me and Paul know. Private chat us. Let us know.
Yeah.
What do you need?
If you still need ticks.
This trade should have been in
Nice.
just about every single person's trade plan. Was with the trend.
Absolutely. Nice, Patrick.
Oversold.
Keep
Oversold
holding.
stochastic. Nice job, Patrick. It's a good trade for you there, Patrick, huh? Couple more ticks on the ES.
You can't beat this. Got
There
in
it
this
is.
trade before I went out, come back, and still in it. That's good for the trailing
Yeah.
stop. I'll show you just in a second.
You could use 97.50 on the stop now with the ES. Again, guys, this is a point in the trade where if you're happy, lock in the number of ticks you want locked in. YM, you can be a little bit more aggressive, maybe even go up to 97 now. 97 on the YM. John showed up when everybody's done. Good morning, John.
Marsha Grahova.
Y, the 15 range on 133 tick, and YM, and 8 range and 599. Oh, that's a good question, John. I get that in just a second. That is what patience does. Yes, sir, Patrick. Up a couple more ticks on the ES. You guys can come up to 4,400, 4,401. Make it an even number there. YM stops up a little bit. You guys have a runner now on the YM. How about that?
This is the first 100 tick runner I've had on the ES.
113 on the YM. Even a little bit higher now, probably on the YM. 122. Yes, maybe a couple more ticks. You know, that little ghost candle there at 250 maybe. Might be a little tight, being as it's in the zone now. There you go. Nice entry, Boss Hog. This point on the YM, you could probably even think about the mid-Bollinger Band as your stop tool. Yes. Use 3 as a stop. Patrick went flat at 3. Just too much money, wasn't it, Patrick? Too much in one trade. Had to go flat at 3. Just kidding around, man. Glad you got a good one, though, Patrick. Good job. Is that a done for the day type of trade for you, Patrick?
Yeah. Works for me too. I like that.
10 points on the ES should be enough for
Yeah.
anybody.
20
Absolutely.
20
Good,
wow.
Patrick. Good job. All right, stops up a little bit more. Who's holding on still?
I'm not bragging, but yes, I
4
am.
now on the ES at least. And 143 now at least on the 146 on the YM. Magic.
Got in on the
Lulu.
9 tick rule on that one.
I tried to get everybody in on that with because it created a little bit of W and a 9 tick rule. Both the YM and ES. YM, what I call a tiny W. right out of a prior swing too, guys. I mean, there's not a lot more confluence wise that we look for in a trade than that, right,
That's-
guys?
That was about the perfect storm right there.
Not a lot more confluence wise than we look for than the trade that we just walked you guys through. A couple more ticks, you're hitting some pretty good resistance. Probably gonna have some headwind up here. So if you want to go flat or put your stop in at 450. Either way, same for the YM, getting some headwind. Probably want to go flat or put your stop in. That locks in the number of ticks you want locked in. And let's see. Is it the trade that took us to the 1030 reversal?
Yeah, it is.
Possibly.
Good chance of it. Yeah,
I'd love to
Lou.
know what you're talking about. By the perfect storm there, Patrick. Nice. Thank you. Most of you guys should be getting done for the day now, members. Members, you guys know what to do. Get your couple good trades in. Get green for the day. Switch to sim. Quit trading. Do something. Don't mess up. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Welcome to Liberty Trading Club, everyone. Paulina here. Hopefully you enjoyed our live stream this morning. If you're interested in joining us live in the trade room, visit libertytradingclub.com and register for a 3-day trial. During your trial with us, you'll have access to the live trade calls, access to chat to have your questions answered by our coaches, as well as access to our training modules, live member meetups, and indicators. Visit libertytradingclub.com to register for a 3-day trial. After your trial, it's just $149 a month for trade room access. Please like, subscribe, and share.